Hey guys, and welcome to the first episode of Ratings Wars, a video series I've been anxiously awaiting, and I'm so excited to start with you all today. So what I'm going to be doing here is doing ratings of currently airing network television programs. That means no AMC, no HBO, and nothing that is also a half an hour. So that means no Modern Family, no Family Guy, no Simpsons, etc. So I essentially have decided to focus on the CW shows such as Supergirl, Flash, Arrow, and ABC shows such as ABC Scandal, or such as Once Upon a Time, Scandal, and How to Get Away with Murder. This is subject to change, this is the pilot, but because Supergirl, Flash, Arrow haven't aired yet, they're airing this week, Supergirl's starting tonight, this episode is going to be self-contained to The Mouse House, to ABC. We're going to be talking Once, Scandal, and How to Get Away with Murder. Because this is also the first episode and every show has essentially just come back, we're going to be discussing Once in comparison to its finale and its opening of season 6, and the same thing will apply to Scandal, and we'll do the same thing for How to Get Away with Murder, and also its first and second episode of season 4. As the show progresses, or as the TV shows progress, we'll essentially just be comparing last week to the week that it's currently on, to just kind of get a sense of where the shows are lying. Now, because this is the pilot, the format is subject to change, and also what shows we talk about are also subject to change as well. I'd be more than happy to add a CBS show or an NBC show that you guys are fans of and would like me to discuss. And because this is also such a widespread video discussing so many different topics, I want to do like a segment at the end of it where you guys can offer a question, and I will gladly answer what it can be a question about any of the shows, or even a show I haven't watched yet, or a business question. So I'll try to do this every Monday or Sunday, roughly, just beginning of the week, because it's going to cover everything from the week prior. So make sure just to tweet, snap, Instagram a question, even leave it in the comments, say like, please include in Ratings Wars, and we'll have the viewer segment at the end of it. So now, Once Upon a Time is going to be like the big topic because it's essentially had the biggest change. So Once is going to be the one I really want to focus on, and then we'll focus on the other shows. And as I said, this episode is contained to Disney, so there's going to be no CW shows in this discussion. So let's get into Once Upon a Time. So Once Season 7 had a premiere of 3.26 million, and for a Friday night, that's actually not bad at all. That's actually pretty decent. However, for a premiere, not so good. Now, the Season 6 premiere had 3.99 million. That also wasn't too good, and that was on Sundays, which was Once's prime night. Like, Once Upon a Time thrived on Sundays. Remember, the first season got over 12 million viewers. So 3.26 on a Friday, not so bad, but also not so good. It's kind of like, I would call it below average, and essentially, the producers and the show is hanging on by the skin of its teeth and is roughly above water. But, it just started off. And its reception was actually pretty good with Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb and whatnot. I think it got like a 7 out of 10 on IMDb, which is really good that people are still liking the show. I'm still enjoying Once Upon a Time. But, to really diagnose if Season 8 is even possible, which they said there's a possible plan for it in one of the interviews, we need to really compare, this episode to A Pirate's Life and so on and so forth. So, when we see the ratings of A Pirate's Life, we'll talk about it in comparison to the premiere. Now, furthermore, the finale of Once only had 2.97 million, or 95 million, excuse me, which is not a lot, especially for a finale. Now, generally, finales always dip in comparison to a premiere, but its premiere is so low, I'm wondering how low the finale of Season 7 could be. But we don't want to talk too far into the future because we're just talking the numbers we have in front of us. Now, the average for Season 6 was 3.02 million viewers an episode, give or take. There was several episodes that were in the 2s, but they were in the higher 2s. So it had an average of around 3, which is relatively weak for ABC shows, particularly for Sundays. And Once the premiere is above that average, and it's on average for Fridays. So at the moment, it's like on the cusp of okay. Now, Inhumans, though it will not be a part of this discussion, just a quick caveat, Inhumans got roughly like 2.6, 2.4 million for Friday night, and that's not good at all. Like, Inhumans could be canceled. I think its reception wasn't too bad, but its viewership is not good at all. So Once, so far, it got above its Season 6 average. It's decent for Fridays, but, we need to really see down the line. But that's really where Once Upon a Time is at. 3.26, it's good. I'm happy that it's above that because it could have been a lot lower. I was thinking it was going to be like 2.1. Now, Scandal Season 7, another favorite show of mine, which is also on its 7th season, just like Once Upon a Time, but 7 is Scandal's final season, had a premiere of 5.52 million. That's amazing. Now, the premiere of Season 6 of Scandal had 7.62 million, and its finale had 5.23 million. So the premiere for Season 7 was a little bit up from the finale, but it was, 2 million less than its Season 6 premiere, which means it also lost a lot of traction. It lost 2 million people watching it, which is not so good. However, ABC likes numbers in the 5s and above. Like when you're in the 5s or even like the high 4s, like you're relatively successful for a network drama, which is good. Like that's really, really solid. So good for ABC and good for Scandal. Now Scandal's on Thursdays, which has a lot of hype. The TGI Thursday night has just become like a really big night for television, while Fridays is not. I really think that Scandal and Once are relatively synonymous just because they're both in their Season 7. They both have a relatively wide fan base. They both have over 1 million followers on their individual Twitter pages. I follow both of them. And I also really like their shows because I think, Kerry Washington, she's very, she's very political, but she's really good with her fan base. All the Scandal characters and actors are good with their fan base, and the same thing applies to Once. So I do see the parallels here. I just think that because Scandal has a Scandal Season 7, with it being on Thursday, it does benefit a little bit more than Once. However, I do wonder if Once would at least be in the 4s for Season 7 should have been on Sundays. But I think the premieres, of Scandal from 6 to 7, 2 million's quite a bit, but premieres generally tend to drop as, shows progress. However, it's where the finale of 7 is going to be in comparison to the finale of Season 6. So for Scandal, if it can at least stay on average of about 5 million an episode, it'll be fine. But it's also getting canceled or it's done after the season, so they probably don't even care too much. But I want to at least discuss it because it's another show with 7 seasons and ratings that were once comparable to Once Upon a Time. Now, How to Get Away with Murder Season 4 has aired. Now, How to Get Away with Murder Season 3 had 5.11 million for its Season 3 premiere, which is pretty amazing. And as I said, ABC likes numbers in the 5s or the high 4s. Its finale had 4.92 million, which is really good. However, its premiere for Season 4 dropped to 3.96 million, and ABC doesn't really like that. So How to Get Away with Murder could possibly get canceled. However, because Viola Davis is such a powerful actress with a great fan base, and the show has it sparks a lot of conversation because it's always like, ooh, what's the next person to die, etc. And I also think that their actors and their writers are really good with the fan base as well. So I think there's a possible Season 5. However, because it does take place in a law school, and law school only goes 3 years. I mean, if you're 4 years, if you're an evening student, but they're all day students, the show could possibly only go, I think, 6 years max. There's no way you can expand There's no way you can expand 3 years of law school into more than 6 years of an actual television show. Now, in regards to How to Get Away with Murder's Season 4 premiere to its Season 4 Episode 2, it only had about a 0.12 drop, which isn't bad at all. However, because the finale had 4.92 million and the premiere only had 3.96, that's a million for a drop, which is not that good, and that's why I think ABC should be very wary of the show going forward. However, if it can get a little spike throughout its 16-episode run or 14 remaining episode run, I think it should be fine. If it can get back into the high 4s or even the medium 4s of like 4.5, it really will be okay. I mean, its average is in the mid 4s anyway, which is fine. So I think if it can get back there, which is totally possible, I think ABC would be more than happy to renew it for a Season 5. They've renewed Grey's Anatomy many, many times, and this is just something about Grey's Anatomy, but I just don't think it has the gigantic fan base it did way back when Season 1 aired. Also, when Patrick Dempsey left, I think a lot of people stopped watching the show. Now, in terms of the victor, I would say that Once is probably the biggest victor here because it had the least drop. It had the worst going against it because it lost its main day, and like I said, its drop was pretty pretty minute in comparison to both Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder. So good for you, Once Upon a Time, but I still think Once has the toughest battle ahead because it is the lowest with its numbers, while the other shows are significantly higher. So, what did you think about the first episode of Ratings Wars? Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll have a bit more to discuss next week because we're going to add the CW shows to it, maybe a CBS or an NBC show. If there's a CBS or NBC show you guys want me to add to this video or this video series, let me know and I will be more than happy to add it, but it has to be at least an hour long. And also make sure to send me a question if you want me to discuss it. I really like the idea of doing like a comment question segment at the end of it, so I think that'd be really fun. So anyway, thank you for watching Ratings Wars Episode 1. I look forward to talking more ratings in the comments below, and I will be covering the sneak peek of Once Upon a Time Season 7, Episode 2, A Pirate's Life, hopefully very soon because I'm just waiting for it to air. That'll be the next video, unless like a really crazy trailer drops. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and we'll talk soon. Bye!